Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial on creating timetables on SSAMs. My name is Mortani MJ Makoba Joseph Kalibito. I am an EMIS officer attached to Malamula Northeast Circuit Office under the leadership of Circuit Manager Kozo TC. As part of our ongoing effort to support educators and administrators in effectively utilizing this platform, I will guide you through step-by-step process of creating timetable on SASAMs. And please bear in mind that this video is intended for educational purposes only and aims to enhance your skills in managing the school timetable. Without any waste of time, I will go straight to the point or straight to the business of today, of creating the timetable through SASAM's program. I'm saying SASAM's database because we are used to it. I think you know and understand why I'm saying this. Okay, no, it's fine. Let me just go straight to the point, and then before I can even start, let me at least emphasize this or maybe highlight this point that when you log into SSAMs, maybe with the aim of capturing learners or maybe marking attendance registers, you know there is a lot of things that you can do on this program. You simply double click on the Edusol Sums icon, and then the system opens for you so that you select database and then start logging in, and then you start with the whole interaction of whatever you are aiming to do. And then as for timetable, colleagues, this is what we're going to do when we log into the SASANS program with the aim of interacting with the timetable. We don't just double click on the Edisol Sums icon, but we simply right click and select run as administrator. The reason why we are selecting run as administrator is because we want the system to allow us, or maybe to a system to open all the channels so that we can find it user friendly when we interact with the so-called timetabling assistant. This module is two different, colleagues, but what I would like you to do, I would like you to pay all the attention, pay attention, so that whatever steps or activities that I'm going to be interacting with on this program, you are able to follow, and you can even, so that we can even do it on your own without even watching this video. What I know is that if you are having maybe some problems with your timetables, maybe you think your timetable is not maybe making sense, so to say, at the end of this video, I think you are going to be getting all the solutions to your problem, or to a problem. I'm saying this because I've trained in a lot of schools under Vembe East District, and they are now using it without experiencing any problems. They sometimes calls to say, "Hey, Braju, I'm experiencing 1, 2, 3, 4," and just because it's like I've been doing this so many times. Some of the problems I don't even have a problem when I solve them. I just simply say, hey, click 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then after that, they do call me back to say, hey, we fixed the problem, thank you. And but some are not calling, but I don't have problem with that because I know. Okay, otherwise, maybe let me just go straight to the point and stop balabaling. Uh, what I'm going to do, I'm going to log into the database that I've created. This is my own database, because you know there is so-called Protection of Personal Information Act that is against publishing the information of someone without their consent. So I've just created my own database. The name of the database is Lethogonolo. Lethogonolo is my name. Yeah, let me just say so. Lethogonolo is my name. So I've created a database renaming it Letlhogonolo High School. And then I've created all the educators or everything that needs to be there when you create timetable. It's in place in this database. And then without any waste of time, let me go straight to the program. When I log in to the program, colleagues, as I told you that we log in using the run as administrator option. I'm going to do exactly that. And then let me share my screen so that whatever activity I'm going to be doing here, so you are able to follow. All right. Yeah, this is it. Now I want to log in. I right click on the Edisol Sums icon just because my Edisol Sums icon is on the taskbar, and then then after right clicking on it, I'm going to have these two options: Edisol Sums and unpin from taskbar. I go to Edisol Sums, I right click again so that I can have that menu options where I'm going to be selecting run as administrator. After clicking run as administrator, there is this message that will appear on the screen that says, do you want to allow this app from an unknown publisher to make changes to your device? It just simply says yes. After saying yes, it's going to open so that you start logging in the way you are used to. I don't need to teach you how to log in. You simply select the database and then you click continue, or maybe you can just double click on the database, then it will take you to this step. I accept, and then um, administrator, sorry. It's successful. Mm, okay, here I am. I'm on my main menu of my database. This is Letlhogonolo High School, year 2025. And then I go straight to module number 13 of Timetabling Assistant. When I get to this one, just because I've already created this one, but I want to make it easy for you so that you follow each and every step. I'm going to delete this one, then I start afresh. Delete the existing timetable, and then I start my own. I start my new timetable and I give it a name. I can still repeat the Letlhogonolo that I had before. Letlhogonolo. And then if you want to create your own, you can just give it your own name. It's not a must that you give it Letlhogonolo, unless if you are happy with Letlhogonolo, then you can give it Letlhogonolo. I don't have problem. Then I start the input verification wizard. After clicking the input verification wizard, colleagues, I'm having this, you can see I'm having two parts there. Part one, it says compulsory steps, and then number two, part two, it says optional inputs tutorial, but you can see it's just a continuation of part one, because we are having in part one we're having number one up to number 6, then part two we are having 7 up to number 11, which makes it a continuation of part one. If we check on number 1, it says check cycle details. Colleagues, this is the information that you have already captured into the system. We don't capture here, we just verify this information whether it's correct or not before we can even get to the a deeper part of the timetable, because this is the some of the information that is going to be helping us there and there when we arrange our information. Number one, check the cycle details. We click this one and then we have this information that says cycle details can only be checked here. They must be changed in the general information section of the program. It means if you have a problem with this part, yeah, maybe you think maybe certain information is not well arranged or properly captured. Then you can simply go back to uh, general school information and update there. Or maybe with this one, you can simply go to update cycle details, and then it will take you to where you are going to make those changes. Number of days per cycle, maximum number of periods in per day. Some are having 11, some are having 10, some are having maybe 6, depending on the number of minutes that you are having for each and every or for each and every period. With this one, they are having 5 days. Yes, it's Monday to Friday, and then maximum number of periods per day, it's 11. And then if you check uh, this 55, this 55 comes after after they've indicated 11 as number of periods per day, because it multiplies 11 by 5, and then it gets the total of 55. And then as for length of periods in minutes, you just decide. You can put 45, 30 minutes, 1 hour, or anything, as long as it is through the arrangements of the SMT, then it's fine. And then if this is fine, you just simply click save and done. I'm not going to click save because I didn't make any changes. This is the information. If you are happy with this information, then you simply click where it says cycle details checked and correct. Then you click done. You go to step number 2 where it says check class details. With this one, you're going to be verifying the number of classes you are having in each grade. This is the number of classes you are having in grade 8. You are having 4, grade 9 we are having 2, grade 10 we are having 4, grade 11 we are having 4, and then grade 12 we are having 1, which makes the total of 17 in all. This is the information. If you are happy with this information, simply click where it says class details checked and correct, and then we click done. And then we go to number 3 where it says check educator details. With this one, it gives the number of educators that are currently at the school, and then it also lists them there, so that when you are saying you are having 28 educators, who are those 28 educators? And that is the information. Then if you are satisfied, you simply click educator details checked and correct. And then colleagues, if still you are not happy with this, maybe you think some educator needs to be added, or maybe some needs to be archived, you know where exactly this information has been captured. You go to module number 2 of human resource information, and then we'll get to educator information. We are going to be updating all the information, the necessary information that you think it must be updated. And then after that, if you're satisfied, colleagues, you simply click done. And then you can see now number 1, 2, 3, they're highlighted in yellow and also written checked on the column of result. It means at the end of the day, you must have all this information checked and highlighted. And then number 4, it says check subject details. With this one, you are going to be having the list of all subjects that are offered at the school. And then if you are happy with this information, simply click subject checked and correct, click done. And then now we are going to number 5, and number 6. I'm saying we're going to number 5 and number 6, but we're going to click only number 5. When we check, when we close, we will find or we've checked number 5 and number 6 at the same time. Number 5, it says educator learner ratio, and then number 6, it says maximum periods for supervision. I can click number 6, and then it will still take me to where there is number 5. If we can check on this one, it says this section checks your provincial educator to learner ratio. Enter the ratio in line 3 and then click verify educator ratio on verify educator ratio. But it is on line number 3. This is line number 3. Also having 1, 2, and 3. Then it says provincial ratio. Please enter. I'm going to enter 35. You can also enter 35, but not necessarily 35. It depends on the post establishment that is being provided to your school via the circuit office through that is coming from the province. Yeah, let me say so. After capturing 35 there, I'm just doing 35 just to standardize this training. And then after that, we click where it says get total educators, because normally when you see a yellow button, you cannot ignore such button. It means you still have to click on it so that you can see what further information it's having for you. Let's click get total educators. When I click get total educators, it gives me this information to say your school is entitled to this number of educators. Remember, I'm having 28 educators. With the 28 educators versus the number of this number of learners that I'm having now, it's like my educators are insured with one educator to make 29, because I'm currently having 28. According to the system, it says your school is entitled to the number of, 29 number of educators. And then currently I'm having 28, and then it's on again on the number of educators required or in excess, it says 1. It says 1 because I'm in short of one educator. Somewhere, somehow, it will say you are having -1 or -2 or -3. The reason you are having those negatives is like you are having more than the number of educators you should be having. Instead of, maybe, for example, you are having 15 educators, but according to the enrollment and also the staff establishment learner ratio, it says you are supposed to be having, maybe it's like one is to 35, 1 is to 37, or maybe 1 is to 36. Maybe let me just put it like that. 1 is to 35, and then it says you have -2. It means out of that 15 educators that we are having, you should be having at least 13, but not a 15. But still, it doesn't mean your timetable is not going to be successful or maybe resolved for this matter. No, it's just informing you so that you have this information even next time when you receive post-establishment indicating that you have at least 2 educators that needs to be maybe released via R&R program. Then you are not surprised with that. I think I'm making sense up to so far. And then after that, you click on the ratio checked and correct button, and then you move to the next one of maximum number of periods requiring supervision. Colleagues, this is the information that you just verified on the cycle details. And then it's just there is just addition of this row only two rows, maximum periods requiring supervision 330 and 605 of FET, and then the total all in all is 935. And then when you are satisfied with this information, you simply click where it is maximum periods are checked and correct, then you click done. When you click done, colleagues, and then you are done with another step of the timetable. Uh, Now we are done with the compulsory steps, then we are left with the optional inputs tutorial. And then with these steps, colleagues, let me just read here for you so that you can understand maybe later when I'm going to be giving you another instruction or maybe uh, or memo. Okay. It is the following steps may be carried out directly in the automated timetable, and it is not compulsory to perform them here. These steps comprise a tutorial to assist schools in timetable input. This is not compulsory, colleagues. It is not compulsory to perform these steps here, because as we move on with the timetable processes, we will find we'll get to a point where we are going to be uh, creating this number 7 where it says setting up group ties, where we are going to be adding two subjects, two educators, one class in one group. That's where um the school is having maybe one class with two different streams, maths and mathematical literacy. In that case, when there is period, when other learners are attending maths, other learners are attending mathematical literacy, and then that's why we are going to be creating such group. And then there is again group number eight, point number 8 or step number 8 is saying setting up individual educator load. That's why we're going to create just a normal group with one educator, one or it's one educator, one subject, and one class in one group. Because remember, one group is equivalent or tantamount to 30 minutes. That's why we are going to be adding one subject, one educator, one class. But you will understand it better when we get to that point. For now, let me simply click on include input. Include optional inputs when creating the timetable. These steps 7 and 8. I'm not talking about 9 and 10 because 9 and 10 they're just summaries. Uh, so you'll still find it useful when you get to that point. For now, let's click where it says include optional inputs when creating timetable and then create the timetable. After clicking create the timetable, now there is lehlohonolo here. It says select a timetable file to work with. At first, I didn't have anything, but for now, I'm having lehlohonolo. This is the timetable that I'm going to be working with. Uh, Let me simply click where it says use an existing timetable, and then I click lehlohonolo. Now there is start the automated timetable. When I click here, it will open and take me straight to this part. I'm saying this, colleagues, because um, some of you may not even get to this point, and the only reason why you don't get to this point is because when you log in, you don't normally log in as run as administrator. You just double click. Don't mind the electricity is just gone, but it will come back. Um, all right, let me continue. With this one, we have day name and then period name. Day name is Monday up to Friday. Remember, we're having 5 days in a cycle. And then let's simply rename these days Monday Sorry, my keyboard is tired. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mm, Thursday, and Friday. And then after having Friday, I press enter so that this Friday can be saved. Remember, if you don't click and if you don't press enter after typing Friday on your master timetable, you're not going to have Friday. So we need to have everything in place and we do things in a correct way. Now I jump into the period names where I'm going to be having assembly, and then it's assembly, first break, second break, because my school is having such. They're having two breaks and one assembly. So, so even after having after updating assembly, first break and second break, I still have to see period number 1 up to period number 11. Because those are just miscellaneous periods that are not even affecting the timetable in anyhow. Okay, I'm going to have assembly here. Assembly. And then I say period number 1, period number 2, period number 3, period number 4. Then I have my first break here. And then after after first break, I have period number 5, period number 6, period number 7, period number 8, and then I go to my second break. And then I have period number. Remember, I'm having 11 periods per day. Now I'm having period number 9. I press enter. Period number 10. I press enter. Period number 11, and then I press enter. The very same thing I did on Friday, I'm doing it again here on the last part, on the period number 11, because if I don't press enter, I'm not going to have period number 11 on my master table. So I'm going to my miscellaneous periods to update this assembly, first break and second break. When I get here, and there is an empty space here, then I simply write assembly, enter, first break, enter, second break, then okay, second, then I press enter, and then I've saved my second break. There is assembly, first break, and um, uh, what was that? Second break. Then I go to my master tables. When I get to my master tables, remember that those people who are having hold on a bit. Hold on a bit. All right. I'm back now. Uh, And there are those people who are having assembly Monday to Friday, and then those who are having assembly only Monday and Friday. So if you are having assembly on Mondays and Fridays only, simply click here on Monday and then right click select assembly, and then go to Friday, click, right click, and then select assembly. And then what about these ones? Because if you leave them open spaces, you leave them open like this, some subject, I mean, the timetable when it start generating, it's going to put some subject here. So to avoid that, and then we're no longer going to have 11 periods, but you're going to have 12, which is going to create more problems to your timetable. So to avoid that, we simply block. Just drag Tuesday to Thursday and then right click, select block. And then if you are having assembly Monday to Friday, you don't need to block, but just drag from Monday to Friday and then select assembly. It means you're not going to start generating the timetable. The periods are no longer going to be placed on here on the open spaces because the space is no longer open. It is now the space is now closed or occupied. So, and then we go again to first break, we click and drag to Friday, we select first break, and then we go to second break, also we drag Monday to Friday, then we select second break. Here we are. Then this is our master tables, but we need to have this information captured. Uh, on educators, also you see we don't have classes, we don't have, and then rooms, we don't need to have anything on rooms because our schools are not using rooms but are using classes, so it's not a problem if we are not having anything on rooms. And then again on subject, this information on master tables must also appear on this one. So we need to drag again, but to make it easy, we are no longer going to drag. We are just going to copy and we paste it once in all tabs, educators, classes, and subjects. We just simply click where it says copy, and then we select master table timetable to all. You see now after selecting master timetable so on, then this information just goes straight to where we want it to be. Then rooms, I told you not to worry about rooms because we are not using rooms, but classes now on educators classes, subject and master tables also. I'm having the very same information. So it means my table is ready to take any subjects that I'm going to be allocated here. This is where I'm going to be doing the whole lot of work. You can see I'm having 72 subjects. I'm having 28 educators, 17 classes, 0 groups. I'm only having new group 1, empty one for that matter. And then on rooms, I'm having 0. So I don't need to have anything on rooms. As I've indicated before that rooms, I'm not using rooms, but I'm using classes. And that's why I'm having 17 classes. And then the educators are there, subjects are there. And then one more thing, colleagues, before you can even start with the interactions here, this is the most a critical part of the timetable. If you mess up with one group, then just know that your timetable is not going to be successful. And there are some of the errors, colleagues, that you need to avoid. I'm going to explain this very carefully and you must listen attentively. So this part, I respect a lot this part because if you mess up only one group, then it destroys everything. It destroys everything. Before you can even start, make sure you have got the subject policy in place. You've got the subject allocation in place. I'm saying this because This is who are going to be applying the subject policy more than ever. You need to understand a lot of things that you need to understand when we do this. We're going to create groups. In each group, we are going to have one educator, one class, one subject. One educator, one class, one subject. I'm repeating it again. One educator, one class, one subject. And the reason why we are going to have one educator, one class, one subject in each group is because one group is equivalent or tantamount to 30 minutes. You get my point. One group is equivalent to 30 minutes. So if we are putting one educator, two or three subjects that the educator is teaching, and one class, it means we are saying that educator is able to teach three uh, three subjects within 30 minutes, which is highly impossible. And the system will not accept that. You are not going to have a successful timetable. Remember, this system is aligned with the policy. So everything that you do must be also aligned with the policy. That's why I'm saying we need the subject policy here with us. And then before I can even create one group, let me share again this with you so that when you start with creating groups, you understand exactly what you are going to be doing. There is this notes that I prepared, but not everything on this one, more especially this part. Yeah, this part. And this is where you are going to be experiencing a lot of challenges here. But if you understand, if you know your story well, you are not going to have any problem. I'm saying this because I've opened every time when you create group, you will have to indicate the number of periods allocated to that subject in the cycle. The cycle we are having 5 days in the cycle, which is a week. There are those subjects that are having 12 periods in a week. If the subject is having 12 periods in a week, it means the minimum that you can have is 2, and then the maximum that you can have for a day is 3. It means with this subject there is at least 2 days where it will be in triple, and then 3 days where it will be in double. So double 3 double periods plus 2 triple periods makes total of 12. And then there are those subjects that are having 10. Uh, if the subject is having 10, it means this subject is taught every day. And something also that you need to understand, colleagues, it's you need to know those subjects that are taught every day and those that are not taught every day, because a subject like EMS, technology, lab orientation, SS, those subjects are not taught every day. And if you make any mistake by allocating them every day, so still you are not going to have a successful timetable. But we are having those fundamental subjects that are coming every day. We are having both languages and mathematics are coming every day. You don't need to make any mistake with those. And then the error that you are going to get if uh, you are allocating wrong subject every day is that it will tell you not specifically per group, but in class, specifically in class, just to say class so and so does not have enough periods, please minimize or increase. But there are those mistakes that can be easily maybe rectified, or maybe be identified by the system to say group so and so. And then if they if you are having such in groups, and then you are going to easily get to the solution. But if you are not if you are doing it carelessly, so like you are saying, there is the subject English or maybe home language, you are saying it's having 7 periods in a week, then it will simply say uh, go back and fix class so and so. Then it means you'll have to check each and every group in that particular class. So with this one, I was still explaining this. There are those subjects that are having 10 periods in a week. It means minimum is 2, maximum is 2, then the total is 10. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It means there is from Monday to Friday, we are having double period for this particular period. And then those subjects that are having 9 periods in a week or in the cycle, so to say. Yeah, week and cycle is the same thing. Um, with such subjects, minimum is 1, maximum is 2, and then total is 9. When it says minimum is 1 and then maximum is 2, total is 9, it means you are going to have at least one day in which this period will come in single, and then the rest of the days it will be double, double, double to make total of 9. And then again, there is this subject that is having 8 periods in a week. They can say maybe this it's having 8 days, 8 periods in a week, but this subject comes every day. You get my point. If it's having 8 and it comes every day, it means minimum is 1 and then maximum is 2. Total is 8. And then when it says minimum is 1, maximum is 2, it means at least 2 days it will come in single, and then 3 days it will be double, 2, 4, 6, and then 7, 8. Then you've got total of 8 periods in a week. And then they can say it's having 8 periods in the cycle, but it does not come every day. You get my point. It does not come every day. If this subject does not come every day, but it's having 8 periods in the cycle, it means minimum is 0. Once you say minimum is 0, you are confirming that this period is not taught every day. And then maximum is 2, total is 8. It means you are going to have this period in 4 days with double periods only. 2, 4, 6, 8. Double periods only. I hope you get my point or get my story. And then there is this subject that is having at least 7 periods in the cycle. If the subject is having seven periods in the cycle, it is obvious that this subject is taught every day. And the minimum is 1, maximum is 2, total is 7. It means you are going to have at least 3 days single period for this particular subject, and then double periods twice a week. That makes total of 5 days, and then total of 7 periods in that particular within that 5 days. And then there is this subject that is taught that is having 6 periods in a week. If the subject is having 6 periods in a week, it means the minimum is 0, maximum is 2, and then total is 6. You can have double periods, at least 3 double periods in a week, or maybe you can have, sorry, yeah, it's only double periods in a 3 double periods, and then 2 days the subject is not available on the timetable. Then it's fine, it makes sense. And then there is this subject that it's having total of 4, maybe life orientation for that matter. I'm not sure whether even that or whether technology is part of it, but I know it's not only one subject, maybe EMS or something. It's having total of 4 in a week. And then it means minimum is 0, maximum is 2, and then in total it's 4. You can have 2 double periods for this particular subject, or maybe you can have 2, 1, 1. But as long as at the end of the day, you're going to have total of 4, and this subject is not taught every day. I wanted you to understand this part, colleagues, before you can even go further into making groups here. Because whatever I'm going to be doing here, if you remember those if you remember well what I was just reading here for you, you will see that I'm applying exactly what is written there. And then maybe sometimes, before I can even go to this one, sometimes in high school, we are having those subjects that are being shared maybe by 3 people, 3 educators. Maybe there is English, paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, and then the subject is allocated maybe 10 periods. It means 10 periods, it's 5 hours. Ne? If that period is allocated maybe 10 periods, and then it's being shared by 3 educators, it doesn't mean those 3 educators are having 10, 10, 10 to make 30. No, it remains 10. But what they can simply do, they share from that 10. One educator is going to have maybe 4, and then other educator 3, another educator 3, and to make the total of 10. It's 4, 3, 3, which is 10. They are going to share because they are not going to be going to class every day. One will maybe go twice, and then one twice, or even 3 times for that matter. And then if the subject is being shared, and then the resist educator is having 3 in a cycle, the minimum is 0, maximum is 1, and then total is 1 is 3. Then it means the educator is going to have at least 3 days for this subject. Uh, I think I'm done up to so far. And then if there is something that you still do not understand, I'm going to give you my number so that you call me, and then I will explain much better, maybe in full detail, so that you understand even. Okay. I'm going to start creating my groups now. I'm taking this educator. I'm dropping into the group. Immediately when I drop this educator into the group number 2 is now available for me to utilize. But I'm not going to use this group 2, because you can see the group 1 that I just dropped, the educator there. It says there is no subject and there is no class. It means I have to drag the class that this educator is teaching, grade 11A, and then the class is there, but there is no subject. The educator, maybe for example, is teaching English in grade 1, in grade 11. Then I drop the subject. After dropping the subject, then we can now see where the group name is now renamed as the subject name. And then I apply the subject policy. What I was just reading for you, I'm going to double click on the group, and then I apply the policy. And then we check the number of periods that the subject is having in the cycle. It says maybe English. Okay, it's fine. Let's say it's having nine periods in a week. I'm just giving an example. Those who knows better with the subject policies knows, or whether this is correct or not. And then if it's not correct, they will apply. You will apply whatever is correct, and then you will still follow the very same procedure for you to get the timetable resolved. And then minimum, I'm having 1. As long as the subject is having 9 periods in the cycle, the minimum is 1, and then maximum periods per day is 2. Then I click OK. Then I'm done with this group. And then I can now go to another group. I'm going to create a group in which in a class where there are two streams, maths and maths literacy. It can be maths and maths literacy, and not only that, maybe there is economics and geography or whatever, depending on the size of the school, and then again on the structure of the school, how they structured their teams. Mm. Now I'm going to create maths and maths literacy, where in which when other learners are attending maths, other learners will be attending maths literacy. And then I drag educator into the group two. I drag another educator, Tony, into group two. Now when I expand this group, you'll see I'm having two educators. With these two educators, they are teaching maths in grade 11B, and then someone is teaching maths lit in grade 11 in the very same class. I'm having one class, two educators, uh, two subjects. Let me go for maths. Where is mathematics? Maths literacy. Okay. Let me go down. This is mathematics. I put into the group, and then again I go for maths literacy. I put into the group. Now my group name is maths stroke maths literacy. Then I double click into the group. Then uh, I need to indicate the number of periods that are allocated for this particular subject. If maths is having 9 periods in a day, it means, I mean, 9 periods in a week, it means even mathematical literacy, it's having 9 periods in a week. And then it means one is double period for maths. At the same time, it is double period for maths literacy. There is no way maths learners can attend single period while maths literacy learners are attending double period. That will cause a very big conflict. So for that to be easy, we select minimum periods per day, 1, and then maximum 2, and then total 9. Then we click OK. Those who knows the subject policy well will tell me whether the information I'm feeding here is correct or not. But even if it's not correct, you know what is correct, then you will do what is correct. And then I go again, I drag educator into the group. I'm no longer going to create that subject tie. That was number 7. That was that I was doing here. And this educator is teaching maybe Shitsonga in grade 8. And then let me go for Shitsonga in grade 8 and double click, and I apply the policy. Every time when you do this, remember to apply the subject policy, because if you don't apply the subject policy, you are not going to win. And then again, colleagues, I'm not going to create the error here, but there is that error that if you are not doing your things carefully, you can end up experiencing it. It says rank check error. That error, if you experience it, no matter you are having 55 groups or 100 groups, the solution to that error is to delete everything that you are having, start afresh, new timetable from the beginning. There is no excuse with that one. Then I'm going to create at least the last group. I drag educator, and then history grade 11, and then I go for 11A history. It doesn't matter whether you start with educator or you start with subject, or maybe you start with the class. As long as at the end of the day you are having educator, class, and subject in one group. And then I double click Then I apply the policy. Maybe let me say it's having seven it's having 7 periods in the cycle, and then minimum is one, maximum is two. Then I click OK with a total of 7. Then it's fine. I'm going to uh, stop with these 4 groups. Then I proceed to other steps. And as long as you understand, the only the aim here is for you to understand all the steps or how they are done. Uh, then from here, I go to, remember I'm on layout. Then I go to groups. On groups, this is what I'm going to be having. I'm having only 4 groups that I've just created. And then this is the name of the subject, minimum, maximum, and then the total per cycle. And then number used, I'm still having zeros. The reason why I'm still having zeros is because the timetable is yet to be generated. I was just preparing my information so that when I start generate at the end of the day, I'm on these zeros. These zeros must change to be the equal numbers of the total per cycle. If the total is 9, I'm going to have 9 and then 9 unused, 9, 9 unused, 10, 10 unused, 7, 7 unused. And then I go to exclusions. On this part, colleagues, we just click set all. And the reason why we are setting all, maybe you may understand it in another way. I don't know, but with this one, remember on the always when you work, there is still room for improvement. We have created our timetable, we have allocated our groups, and everything is well. It's well arranged, but still there are some of the things that should not be part of the timetable. But as of us, we cannot identify those because we think everything is fine. But the timetable or the system itself is going to resolve those things for us. We are not excluding everyone here on the program, but we are just going to, we just want to allow the system to deal with whatever should not be part of the timetable and get rid of it, and then remains with what should be the power, what should be part of the timetable, and then to make our timetable successful and be resolved. I think I'm on point and understood. Uh, and then with this one, I click set all only once. If you can see, there are axes in English, my group 1, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to have this subject in my timetable. Everything is still going to be there. It's just that I want to allow the system to do its job by eliminating whatsoever should not be part of the timetable and remains with what should be part of the timetable. And then I click set all, but this will be dealt with later. Exclusions, then I go to solve it. With the solve it part, it says use this option to show any potential problems that may delay time design solving your table. And then I simply click where it says check the information. After clicking check the information, there is this message where it says all okay. It means everything that I've arranged or allocated, it's well pegged or well arranged or properly arranged. Yeah, so this is it. And then I go to where it says class table. With this one, I check whether I'm having some clashes or what. And then let's read this message. Colleagues, one thing that I would like to advise you with is that you must read each and everything that appears on the screen so that you understand what is expected from you or what is expected from the system Okay. Now let me read. It says the class table shows the level of groups sharing the same educators, classes, and rooms. The lower you can keep the conflict level, first column in brackets, and the easier is to resolve the table. Then now you can see you are having a 0. It means there is no clashes. Everything is fine up to so far. And then I go to combing chat. Remember, I clicked the set all on the exclusions. Now I allow the system to deal with whatever should not be part of the timetable and remains with it. When I click on start, it dancing, 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 and then at the end of the day, it will write complete. Uh, let's give it time. Now it says complete. It means now everything is well packed, well arranged, and the my timetable is ready to be resolved. I solve it. I click on solve it, and then I go again on solve it here. When I click this one, it will normally if my timetable is having some errors, it will just move this line. You see this line, eh? It will just move, move, move until, and it will take time for your timetable to be resolved. But if your timetable does not have many mistakes, then it will simply says complete within a space of 2 minutes, or even 2 minutes sometimes is too much. Maybe less than a minute, then you say complete. After you have completed with this one, you go to groups. You go back to groups. When you go to groups, you will find or now your timetable is ready. And then your timetable is ready. Let me take something. Sorry. My machine. Okay. Now you see the timetable, né? Mm, this is my timetable, well arranged, nicely so. But if you can look at this one, there is double period. Remember, I said as long as everything is well packed or properly arranged, those zeros are no longer here. I'm having 9, 9, 9, 9, 10, 10, 7, 7. It means everything is fine. And then if everything was not fine, the system would have at least alerted me on the solve it part when I checked the information to say this information is not well arranged. Go and fix 1, 2, 3. But so far my timetable is monad. Um, here it is. Now I'm having this double periods. Monday, double period, Tuesday, double period, Wednesday, double period, uh, Thursday, double period, and then Friday is single period. Okay, I'm having 9. Then I go to my groups just to check whether I I must have 9 or more than 9 or less than 9. It says the minimum of 1, maximum of 2, and then total is 9. Then it means my timetable is correct up to so far. And now maybe the educator is having a problem, says, no, man, I can't go to a class with English and then I go again after the break. Why can't you just arrange these double periods so that it can be like the way Monday it is, Tuesday and Thursday it is? Then you don't have to worry about this because the one thing that's fascinating about this program is that this is user friendly, colleagues. You don't have to worry about this one. You simply double click on the subject. After double clicking here, this message will appear. It says this will allow you to swap the selected periods with another period in the same day. Be aware that you could be splitting double periods up, and please select the target period by double clicking on it. Select cancel if you did not want this function. But just because I want this function, colleagues, I click OK, and then I double click where I want that subject to be. Then it simply, now you see my English is well, uh, it's well placed. Now I go to my mathematics. I just confirm whether the information is well packed. Now you see my mathematics is, I don't see problem with it. The only challenge is that most of the educators they've got this tendency of saying, hey, I can't teach mathematics after break, blah, 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 of which that is not uh, policy that is not policy related. As long as subject is there, and then educator should go and teach, and then they must also they must also get to the point of accepting the timetable as it is, because uh, it is not a human error. If it's an error, then it's a system error. Maybe some of the at some point the system will be maybe logged with some of the subjects to say this subject should not go maybe after break, or maybe towards the school towards after school. They must come before first break. They must come before second break or whatsoever. But as for now, let's support the system the way it is. I don't see a problem with this one. And then Shitsonga, the only problem maybe it can be this one on the yeah, a double period, but in the between those double period there is break, and yeah, this one is understandable. But some of the educators does not have a problem with this one. Maybe that something that can be too problematic is this one, where in first period is in period number 7, and then double second period is in period number 10. With this one we can simply change, remember, Mm, double click, and then double click where you want the subject to be. You double click, and then you double click where you want the subject to be. Double click, and then you double click where you want the subject to be. Then my timetable is now, it is now lookable. And then let's go for history. Okay, that is history. Then the very same thing, colleagues. You just double click, and let me tell you something about SASs. This program, it will never, ever, ever clashes the periods. If it clashes the periods, the timetable will not be resolved. That's where you will be having problems. But as long as you get to this point, and there is no way you're going to have some clashes. As long as you have the right names of educators and you allocate the subject into correct educators, this system knows, or this subject so and so and so is allocated to educator so and so and so. So it means when I'm going to be generating my timetable, I don't have to clash this educator. You can't have first period in mathematics on Monday at the very same day. You are having first period in another class. No, that's not possible. But if that is the case, maybe if you experience that, you just raise it on my chat section, and then I'll have to deal with it. I'll check it in the in maybe I'll explain it better in the next video. For now, I'm done with my timetable. But one thing that you must know is that this timetable cannot be printed through on SSMs. For us to print this timetable, we go to reports, and on reports we go to transfer to Excel. When we transfer to Excel, that's what we're going to be able to make printouts. We print those individual uh, timetables we give to educators. This is the summary. Educator tables, this is the timetable. As you can see, there is the DBM, and then this is the DBM. There is Monday up to Friday, period 1 up to period number 11. And then after, we have DEM MJ, period 1 up to period number 11, Monday to Friday. So when you print this one, it is also advisable that you adjust the page, because the page is not exactly how you want it to be. And then it is in portrait, and you must change it to landscape, and also resize the page, more paper sizes. You can just go to scaling and select any number that fits your preview. Let's click on preview. We're having Monday up to Thursday, and then remember we must have Monday up to Friday. And then this one still cutting Friday. And then with this size, and then I'm having everything here: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Then you print this for each and every educator. And as for class tables, you click class tables. That's the general timetable. And then colleagues, if you have any questions, please write them on my chat section. I will attend to them. The next video, I'm going to address them. And oh, I think I'm done. And for now, colleagues, thank you for watching this tutorial on creating timetables on essay sums. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. And if you have any further questions, uh, you can still go to your EMIS officers that are at the circuit office. They are well trained. They know their stories. Those guys, I trust them. I'll be sharing more resources and tutorials in the future. So stay tuned. Thank you.